The software provides a variety of reports to assist with tracking student progress. These reports can be accessed in the administration portal by clicking on the Reports link in the left sidebar. Group reports enable you to compare student progress in groups, such as all of the students in a particular class. If a user has access to more than one group, the report for a specific group can be loaded using the filtering menu near the top of the report. The Class Roll report offers a quick overview of many data sources related to the selected group of students. This includes the student's current lesson, course progress, average scores, and much more. At the bottom of the list, the average for each column is displayed. You can click the icon next to each student name to be taken to the individual student summary report. To return to the list of reports, use the Back button or click on the Reports link. The Course Progression Report provides two charts that help you track group progress toward the completion of the Reading Horizons Elevate program. The graph at the top maps all students based on the chapter they are currently in. The percentage of total students at each stage is shown below the graph in the legend. By default, the graph displays data for all students that you manage. The data can be filtered by specific instructors or groups. This information is also shown in table form. The table includes useful details, including the student's current lesson or assessment and the percentage of the total course progress the student has completed within the last 30 days. The Skill Gains report offers a comparison of a student's initial scores in the Reading Horizons Skills, Lexile measure, and Library Lexile measure with the student's improvement on those same measures during the course sequence. You can click the icon next to each student name to be taken to the individual student progress monitoring report. The Group Skills report allows you to view class proficiency by skill. For each lesson, a bar shows a class average percentage. You can click this arrow to expand the view to individual student percentages. This report can be filtered by instructor, group, and chapter. Additionally, you can use these checkboxes to pull data from chapter quizzes, chapter tests, and progress monitoring assessments. The chapter test report allows you to view the chapter test scores and other related information for all students in a group. You can sort the data by each of these categories or filter the data by instructor, group, or chapter. Multiple attempts of the same test will be shown for comparison. The Time report helps you determine where students are spending their time in the software. The bar chart displays the percentage of time the student has spent in each of the main sections of the student software. Click the Data tab at the top of the report to see the same information in numeric form. The Diagnostic report allows you to see how each student performed on the diagnostic assessment for each of the Reading Horizons skills. Students can earn 100, 75, 50, 25, or 0 points for each skill. Average scores for the whole group are displayed at the bottom of the table below the column for each skill. The data can be filtered by instructor, by group, or by chapter. The Time Range report functions similarly to the Data View version of the Time report, except that the Time Range report allows you to restrict the data to a specific date range. For example, if you wanted to view student time usage over a particular 2-week period, the date range field at the top of the report can be used to select a start and end point on the calendar, and once applied, the table will populate with data within the specified time range. Individual student reports enable you to monitor each student's progress more closely. Select the student for whom you want to view a report, then click View on the report you want to see. In any individual student report, you can use the drop-down menu to select a different student. The Student Summary report provides a visual overview of a student's experiences in the software. A similar version of this report can be accessed by each student within the student side of the software. This graph displays the student's current course progression through the lesson chapters. Below that, a pie chart shows how much time the student has spent in each area of the software. At the bottom of the report, 4 boxes give you details on the student's performance across the software. The Lessons box shows the average score on all lessons. You can use the drop-down menu to load the score for any specific lesson. The Vocabulary box shows the average score for decoding words. You can use the drop-down menu to load the score for any specific lesson, and the number at the bottom of the box lists how many total words the student has decoded. The library box shows the student's current Lexile reader measure. The pie chart shows the number of passages the student read that were gold, silver, or bronze. The assessments box shows the average score on chapter quizzes and tests. You can use the drop-down menu to load the score for any specific test. It also displays a comparison of the diagnostic assessment score with the completed progress monitoring assessment scores. The Student Progress Monitoring Report offers a comparison of each student's improvement on the Reading Horizon skills. The chart shows a row for each skill taught in the lessons, and a total of 3 bars will eventually appear in each row. The first bar appears once the student has completed the diagnostic assessment at the beginning of the program. The second bar appears once the student has completed the relevant progress monitoring assessments at the end of each chapter. At the same time, the third bar appears, which displays the student's gains, or the difference between the value of the first and second bars. Click the Data tab at the top of the chart to view the same information in numeric form. The Lesson Summary Report gives information about the student's performance on each of the lessons in the program sequence. Along with the number and title of each lesson, each row displays data for a completed lesson, the student score as a percentage, the length of time it took the student to complete the lesson, and the date that the lesson was completed. If a student retakes a previously completed lesson, the score for that lesson is replaced by the most recent attempt. You can view scores for previous attempts by unclicking the Show Only Current Attempt checkbox near the top of the report. The Chapter Test Report provides a percentage for each chapter quiz and chapter test. For each test or quiz, you will see the score, the date the test or quiz was completed, and the time it took the student to complete the test or quiz. The Student Skills Report combines data from a variety of sources to give up-to-date information on a student's proficiency in the major and minor skills within lessons. The chapter quizzes, chapter tests, and progress monitoring assessment checkboxes allow you to filter the sources of data that the report is pulling from. The skill column displays each lesson and the skills taught within that lesson. For each lesson and each skill, an average proficiency percentage is shown. The library report shows you data related to the reading library. At the top left of the report, a Lexile reader measure is displayed for each time the student took the reading library assessment, as well as the date and duration of the assessment. To the right is shown a complementary Lexile measure that is assigned based on a student's performance on the reading passages and quizzes in each chapter of the lesson sequence. This table also includes a word per minute measure for each student, based on the time the student takes to read each passage before beginning the quiz. These graphs show the student's performance on each of the 5 item types found in the reading passage quizzes: main idea, specific details, organizational devices, inference, and vocabulary. Below that, a table displays specific data about each of the passages that the student has completed, including multiple attempts of the same passage. The words per minute number will turn red if the program determines that the student likely did not fully read the passage before beginning the quiz. The Student Vocabulary Report provides an extensive list of all words that a student has decoded in the vocabulary practice as part of the lesson sequence. For each word, the table displays whether the word was spelled correctly, the actual spelling that the student typed for the word, and a score based on the correctness of the student's decoding attempt. Using these buttons, each of the reports can be exported to a PDF, Excel, or CSV file.